in Turkey, we still have to deal with lots of regulations that require people come into the physical branch and sign things, basically. And for the midterm solutions, not long-term or short-term, we had to deal with this queue management issue. And we were thinking about, as I said, most of the people, even in Turkey, start their journey through digital channels. And we thought, what if, when the person realized that he cannot do what he wants to do in the digital channels, what if we show them the branches that are near to them, and what if we show them the queue status, the status of the queue of those channels? And then maybe the customer would like to get an appointment in one of those branches, and maybe he can get approximate service start time. And then having this, if he starts the journey from through the mobile channel, he can get this queue directly with him through the channel, and he can follow the queue status within the branch through his mobile. Or if he doesn't his mobile, or if he didn't get the number through his mobile, he can swipe his card and see his number and follow it, basically. So the second issue was promoting consistency across channels. This brings us back to several issues. Most important of them, how should we deal with the content of these different channels? Previously, we were we thought that manipulating the content in accordance with the channels was a great idea, but we see that mobile primary users are really becoming the dominant part of the entire target groups. They start their journey with the mobile phones. They are some of them, they are using only mobile phones for surfing the internet and making transactions. So we now propose giving the same content in every channel, but and using very consistent information architectures in all of these channels, but also honoring device-specific needs. By device-specific needs, what I mean is basically giving summary info at the entrance pages in the quick access device, which I mean the mobile devices. We should match offer with the context that we are offering. That's a very nice example from all recipes. Basically, they structured themselves in a way that the primary feature of the web portal is basically searching recipes. The primary feature of your cell phone is basically a shopping list. If you just select some recipes from the web, while you are doing your shopping together with your phone, basically it supports you with the shopping list that is combined with the combined from the recipes that you selected previously. And this is a very good example of taking the context into account. In their tablet app, they give you really big buttons. Just they're taking into consideration that in the kitchen your hands are wet. Basically, you cannot use your tips of the fingers. So basically, you will start using joints. So that influences the design of the entire interface. Also, this is a very common feature nowadays. You can basically take photographs of your financial documents and start whatever your transaction is. And with our clients, we basically propose some digital checklists. In Turkey, unfortunately, they have to provide some documents to be able to get the product they ask for, and the list can be kind of long. And by taking the photographs of some of the documents and by just kind of like manually following the the progress of the document collection, this experience could be improved, we thought. You shouldn't reinvent the wheel. Some of the services that are already proposed by very good service providers, let's say. There's an example from Simple Bank. It's a digital bank that that uses Dropbox as a partner that allows you to store your financial documents whenever you make a transaction, basically. It's a very easy way of dealing with this issue. And the social channels are also very useful for you to make transactions, especially in the banking sector. The Volo Labs is a concept that allows you to transfer money by just adding a hashtag. Well, we talk about digital a lot, but it's very important to humanize the digital world. This research was done by Cisco, if I'm not mistaken, and they asked people how would they feel if their bank was replaced by all virtual branches, and more than half of the customers wasn't very happy. 22% of them said they would switch banks, basically. And we also in the same research they showed that even the tech savvy customers visit the branch quite frequently, especially for the operations like getting information about products, applying for a loan, this kind of complex situations. But we also know that the first phase is usually the digital channel, so it's very important to add a human element in those channels, and it's also very important to kind of provide a single human human correspondent. Sorry, and it's very important as well to provide like very easy ways of contacting these people without the need to visit the actual physical branch, basically. So these were a few of things that we just identified in successful services. And now I would like to talk about, I would like to talk very briefly about how we design for omni-channel experiences. We are looking from both sides. And we are doing research, basically, to understand the context and to evaluate their current situation. And maybe John.
Yeah, also it's important to understand you need to prejudice the experience according to the brand that you're working with. So it's not just a random experience, it's an experience that is a product of the essence, the DNA of that brand. How should that brand create an experience and choreograph it? And also, what makes up an experience? We see an experience made up of 6 key ingredients: the brand itself, the products and services, the people, the processes, the environment, digital or physical, and its awareness strategy, the conversational capital. So those 6 ingredients then start to get applied around the customer journey.
And of course, the customer holds the key position in our services. And to be able to see the big picture, to be able to understand the relationship of the different channels within each other, we basically use service simulations and macro level customer journey maps. We generate scenarios based on frequent tasks, pick representative antagonists, and let these people run those scenarios in the real life contexts, and basically document the journey. And what we end up with is something like this, much more detailed version of this. We basically document how the experience realized and what are the ups and downs of those different stages. And we can also do those customer journeys on a channel basis way by identifying different phases of this these experiences, we can understand what's working and what's not so working in those experiences. Contextual inquiry is the method that we use very frequently to not to understand the customers only, but this gives crucial insight about how businesses run their services, basically. And again, another method from the customer side is that experience mapping. Here, we let people experience service offerings. And afterwards, we just conduct in-depth interviews with them to understand the change in their emotional status, which is really crucial. The customers would like to see whether their customers start the service in a good way and end up in a not so nice way. And for to be able to start the conversation, we use emotional stickers. This is actually from my promoter while I was doing my PhD in emotional design. Desmet's set of stickers, and they are scientifically validated stickers, of course, in the university world. They have to be. But we also find them very valuable for starting the conversation, even if the participant do not understand what the emotion really is. I mean, they can confuse the meaning of stickers, but still we can get very valuable insight about their emotional level. Normally, the emotional talk happens in a bipolar environment, good or bad, but this is not really working because different emotions have different behavioral tendencies. I mean, anger and fear are both bad emotions, but they have completely different behavioral tendencies. Anger makes you complain, makes you attack on the employee, whatsoever, and fear makes you just go away from that service offering. So we need to be able to identify those differences in different emotions. This is basically the output. We tell what's happened, we show the emotional journey, identify the pain points. And sometimes we do behavioral mapping, especially in shy cultures. By saying shy, I mainly mean the Eastern cultures. When you give them lots of different digital technology, digital screens that they can play with, most of the time the reaction is that they are being there, looking at the digital screen, but it takes so much effort to get them actually interact with the screen. So basically what we are doing here is that we are trying to observe how they experience the environments and what they actually do. I mean, we can also provide heat maps for that, for this purposes to identify the popular areas of the service area. Okay, but it's very important to identify the activities as well. We did a project for UniCredit Bulgaria. It all started with renovating their branch concept, but it had to be integrated with some other channels. And John.
So we'll just show you just a quick excerpt from this film. Maybe we'll cut in actually just. This is a 2-year project to completely reconfigure the branch experience for UniCredit in Bulgaria. So what this just short case study shows is the before and after experience that the customer is receiving. This is the after experience of entering. So not only were we looking at the technology, the role of technology in and outside the branch, we're also looking at the role of the people, the role of the environment. We had a sensory strategy. We looked at the smell of the branch, the sound of the branch. It's a completely integrated experience. Also, we set up a thorough pre and post analysis. We've been measuring it for a year. and the results of that are pretty much ready now. So we've had fixed camera studies and observational studies to see the business performance and also the emotional reaction. So this is the pre-experience. This is what Bulgarian banking was like about 18 months ago in Sofia. Pretty standard experience. Counter interaction. You can see, here are the staff trapped behind a sheet of glass trying to have a decent conversation with a customer. What happens now? Be greeted by somebody. This person is not a meet and greet. This person is a floor manager. It's a shared role, shared by every single member of the team. There are actually more people than there are places to sit. So there's always somebody on the move. The manager of the branch could equally have played that role. So it completely redefines the style of interaction. Mobile technology, so that the staff are using tablets, all the barriers are taken away. So this is what used to be a counter. It's now an opportunity to sit and have a proper conversation. Shared interaction, shared information, no hidden screens. This is how advice used to take place. This is an office, really. This is not a retail environment full of the paraphernalia that people would typically collect in their office. This is how people get advice now. The role of the people is really important. We had a 6-month training program where we built the environment with the staff. We created prototypes and role-play scenarios to allow them to have an equal input in the design of this. So hence this team, the team of about 20 people in this branch, were strong advocates for the concept even before it was launched. So this is now being rolled out across the CE region. So there's 5 key countries in the CE region. Okay, thank you very much, everyone.